Welcome back to Block TV. It's time now for Traders Take, our chance to delve deep into the markets and charts and see what's happening around the crypto sphere. And today we've got a very special show for you. Joining us from the Bali Financial Summit in the fine, beautiful island of Bali, Indonesia, we have with us our very own technical analyst, Joe Saz, and special guest joining us this week, CryptoFace analyst and trader. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us. Loving the look, loving the masks and signs, but let's reveal the mask, as it were, of the crypto market and tell us what's happening under the hood. Gentlemen, take it away.
Yeah, so we'll start with the 15-minute chart and see what CryptoFace has to say, because I think we have we might have some differing opinions. Now, CryptoFace is known for his indicator, one of the indicators, his market cipher, and we're unable to pull that up, but we're just going to run with candles for now. So what do you see right now?
Well, we're kind of at a really perfect time. We honestly, without any indicators, if you just zoom out, even on a couple of charts, hourly to 4 hourly, we are at a bottom of kind of what we've been sitting at. And so to me, I mean, I kind of see a simple long opportunity with, risk and decent opportunity. We're kind of in 3 circles increasing. And so I'm in a little bit of a long. I just see that we're at a bottom without any indicators, taking a look. And I think, there's at least something we can maybe squeeze out of it for a couple hundred. Unless this is the time where we actually break down. I don't know. I don't think it's a time we break down just yet, but.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree that Bitcoin has a tendency not to rip the Band-Aid off, but, I'm definitely short. I've been short for a while. I still believe that a breakdown is imminent. I just wonder if it's going to be in, the coming days or the coming weeks. This is something that I haven't looked at the 4 hour, and this is something that interests me a lot. Now, this is going to be the rejection at the daily when we move to the daily. And I didn't know that we wicked down so low and closed in a spinning top here on this particular candle. Let's jump to the daily real quick and talk about this, because we definitely have some big shit coming our way. And we're looking at the death cross. You want to talk about this a little bit? We got the 50-day moving average to the 200-day moving average. Is this scaring you at all?
It would scare me if they both start pointing downwards. Right now, they're kind of coming at each other in opposite ways. So to me, it's still a possibility that it could, what is this, the 50 or is that the 200?
The orange is 50.
The orange is 50. That the 50 can actually curve back up, right? So if the 200 keeps on going up and the 200 doesn't curve down, to me, this is an opportunity where we might have some room to kind of pick up, maybe going 84, even up to the 8,600 range or 8,300. I just see that we can still go up a little bit, go more sideways. If it crosses and they're both pointing downwards, then it's probably time to, if you're holding some Bitcoin, you might want to be careful.
So the thing he's noting here is that in this particular crossover of the short and intermediate term moving average, the intermediate term being the 128-day moving average, we had a pretty definitive downward sloping X. This one's going to be pretty much what your spelling teacher would compliment you on, a pretty clean X. It's very neutral looking. Now, I think a bearish crossover is ugly no matter what, but I think in this kind of event, we're more likely to see a bounce than an immediate market reaction. So I'm actually going to agree on that. Like, as short as I want to be, like, we have to observe the facts, and the facts are that this really has a bounce opportunity in it. Now, we did break this little descending triangle that we were in. If I drag this down a little bit, and this stops giving me so much drama, of course, it won't stop. But we had a little descending triangle that refused to break down. I was left clicking. So we have a descending triangle that kind of refused to break down over here. And so since then, I started getting a little worried. But the rejection, this steep rejection at the 200 MA turned me even more bearish than I otherwise would have been for considering this as a bottom. I think that bulls might wake up a little bit, especially if they get aroused in the belief that 77.50 was or 78.50. I think we hit what, 77.50 or so on a low after a double bottom at 7,700. So this definitely stimulated the bulls. And I'm wondering, is there going to be another event that stimulates the bulls like that, fundamentally or technically? Right now, we're sitting on a daily 9 buy, so we definitely have to keep an eye out for that. The last one didn't pan out. So not as far as sequential is concerned, I'm going to say statistically, we're looking at a bounce here. And I'm wondering how high this bounce can go, especially if bulls are convinced that there's some sort of confirmed bottom. I still think bears are in control of the market. I'm just wondering if this is going to be a sucker's rally and how high I can go, and do I need to pull my shorts?
May I add something real quick to
Please.
that? So this is actually a pattern that I believe before, and what it does is it creates little semicircles, and they get kind of bigger, and then there's one that's smaller. So I'm not expecting us to come all the way back up here. From what I've seen before, I'm expecting to see like a little circle, maybe come up to maybe the 82s, 83s, and then pound back down. That might be where a dump happens. And so
Boom.
we'll see how it goes. Like I said, myself, I entered along. We're kind of at a bottom down here. And so, you know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I get lucky. But if it hits like 82, 8,300, I'm going to be taking a look at things. I'm going to be looking to take profit.
So right there, we nailed the 8,300. And then how that is when a dump can actually happen. Then it dumped to what, 74, 7,500 from there. And also we nailed the fact that there could be a bounce. Yeah, it dumped a little bit to 75, 7,400, but the EMAs didn't cross. The 50 was still, or excuse me, the 200 wasn't pointing down. And then we had the pump to 10,200. Nailed it.
So
I'm going to agree. Go ahead.
So I just want to ask then, gentlemen, like, give me some concrete numbers here to work with. I mean, if you talk about a bottom coming in, CryptoFace, whether you're talking in this hump or if we have another resurgence and then hit a bottom, where are we talking now? In the past, Joe, you know, talking with you and Tone Vase, you've thrown out numbers like 7,500 as a bottom. You've spoken about 4,500 as a potential bottom. Where are you guys feeling now is a sort of near to midterm market bottom?
So I'm sticking to 4,500 until otherwise noted. I think that that accumulation area being, you know, an $80 million buy, triggering a number of stops as well, that did signal to me that it was a potential accumulation zone. We had no volume in that bottom. So to have a single candle spike that put us up 20%, I still think that if we're talking about an organic accumulation zone, that's still my minimum target. So I'm still putting 4,500 on the table. As far as short term, I'm actually, I'm not really in a leverage short position because I really do think we could bounce. Bulls jump out of nowhere. We had buyers at 14K, 10K, 10.3, 10.4, broke down. We had buyers at 9, 9.4. We had buyers all over the place at 77.50 that pumped us right back up to 8,800. So we have buyers that are willing to really shred the price. But I'm actually going to agree with CryptoFace here, and I don't think that this next bounce is going to be a killer bounce. I think this is going to be, a sucker's rally, and I think, Bitcoin doesn't rip the Band-Aid off, but if it does, in the event that we do break down, my next term target is going to be the 68 to 7,200 range. What about you?
Boy, I actually kind of just made like my first, I guess you could say like holding acquisition for Bitcoin in a couple of shit coins, just like 2 of them. Because I do feel like that we are, if not we're close to the bottom. There's still definitely more like sell pressure to get through on larger time frames. It's hard for me to like give a number of what I think the bottom could be, to be honest with you. All I know is instead of kind of just like mind screwing myself with that, as of right now, because everyone is bearish. The truth is the whole market sentiment, everyone is thinking that we have more down room to go. And when we go back to when we were at 3K, everyone thought it was going to keep going down even more, everybody. And so I didn't, blow everything I have and buy all my Bitcoin, but like I made my first acquisition just in case. We're all kind of wrong. There is a couple things I'm seeing where we could kind of maybe be at a bottom. It could be, you know what I mean? So I don't have an exact number. Like there's certainly different support levels, like all the way down, but all I know is I am starting to buy my Bitcoin to put away and forget about.
All right. So then let's move for a conversation from Bitcoin price to rather the conversation around market dominance and market cap overall. Obviously, in the last sort of days and weeks, we've seen Bitcoin pull back a little alt resurgence, but let's see where that stands now. Joe, you have any comments on where the sort of the overall market dominance conversation is at this point?
Yeah, let's take a look and get the exact numbers real quick. So Bitcoin is at 68%. All right, so down from it's not all right. So Bitcoin's actually taken a couple steps up. Altcoins have taken a couple steps down, including XRP. I'm not really too concerned that Bitcoin's dancing just below 70%, because the fact that we even broke 50 was a really strong indicator to me that we have a massive altcoin exodus. So shitcoins are definitely going down the tubes, whether it's sooner or later. We definitely know that there's a fundamental belief that shitcoins are shitcoins, and the only people that are sitting on them are hodlers and some traders. But I would say that, to me, the fact that we've dropped a percentage point there down to the 68s, I'm not really too concerned about that. I think more likely the scenario, as I see it right now, is we're exiting to fiat. This is we're not taking steep moves down in the alts, but we're also, if Bitcoin is losing dominance and altcoins aren't really gaining dominance against it or anything like that, we don't have a rise in Bitcoin dominance and a rise in something else. I think people are starting to exit to fiat, which in my mind is very bearish. Do you want to comment on this?
A few days ago, I think there's a couple shit coins, I think ETH being one of them, that kind of showed an early, slightly like bullish indication of kind of what we're seeing now with Bitcoin. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe a couple people saw that some shit coins might have a little upward movement before kind of what we're seeing now. I'm not a big shit coin guy. I was never a guy to buy shit coins and hope they go up. Once in a while, I mean, maybe I'll trade some shit coins, but shit coin's a shit coin. I'm a Bitcoin guy.
A Bitcoin's a hot enough potato, and I don't like touching, hot lava potatoes. So I'm with you there.
So then, just for our couple of audience members who are out there having a look at maybe some alts to buy, any ones you think are particularly worth watching right now? Is there anything out there in the market you think has some value, or is it Bitcoin or nothing?
As far as shit coins go, I will admit that in my acquisition, I did buy some Ethereum, and I think I bought some Litecoin. I used to be a Zcash guy. Zcash is really cheap right now too, just because of who likes to own Zcash, which is like a big miner coin. I bought some ETH. I bought some Litecoin. I bought a little bit.
So me personally, like I said, I trade Bitcoin and I trade Bitcoin alone. I think there are too many moving parts, even in things like Zcash, where they're having all sorts of technical issues. I would say the more stuff like that happens, considering the isolated space that we're in, being mostly traders trading, there could be some sort of movement in these alts to the upside. But I would say that if it's only traders trading and the people that have been in the space for years at this point, they're probably going to look at that and they're probably going to want to steer away. I would say, if anything, don't hope, it might be something like BNB. Which obviously I think is a trash coin, but I think if people trust CZ enough, which they do, him being what I call a wolf dressed in sheep's clothing, I think people are willing to park their money there. So that would probably be the one that I look. But we could always run through a couple. I'm all curious to see if XRP is performing well.
Let's take a quick look at those charts and see if there's anything worth noting in there.
Yeah, what were you going to say about XRP?
I was going to say XRP for God knows how long on TradingView on the front page. XRP has been waiting for a massive breakout forever. There have been so many charts of people saying XRP ready to break out, and just fundamentally, it's just, I don't know. I think the shitcoin apocalypse is kind of happening right now, and there might be some hope. Bitcoin is king in my opinion, but there's some, we'll see. Maybe XRP. When you zoom out, yeah, I mean, XRP's been, okay, well, went up to 28 cents. All right, there you go. Okay.
So just to bring CryptoFace into this is a channel that's been, pretty active for a while. We broke out, came right back in, broke down, came right back in. We created a pretty significant low on a visit to the SWIG space. But the thing that I pay attention to is accelerated trend. So as this trend accelerates, we've already broken it, by the way. So that means that we're definitely on our way to retest this trend line through this. And I think we're headed down low. And I don't know if it's going to be fast or slow just yet, but I do think that XRP, going into the death cross of the intermediate and long-term moving averages, which would be sloping down, which is much more a condition of a very bearish scenario. Expect us to definitely be visiting this WEEX space all the way down to a low of 20 cents in coming weeks to months.
All right, it looks like it could be some rough days ahead. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for having the time, joining us, taking a break from amazing Bali to join us here on Block TV and have this discussion. Great to have your insight. CryptoFace, a pleasure to have you on the show. Joe, as always, lovely to have you. Look forward to seeing you, gentlemen, again soon. Enjoy the fine weather there. And in the meantime, for everyone else, stay with us at blocktv.com for all the latest news and information. I'm out.